Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be doing my February TBR. So as I was pulling books out for my TBR for the month, I realized that I have a lot of books that I would like to read based off of what I'm trying to do for the month. And honestly, I didn't even like looking at my shelves, which is why I'm always looking over here. I don't even think I pulled off all the books that I could have possibly chosen, but because it is Black History Month, I am going to try to read as many of the books on my shelves, either by Black authors, which is #1 priority, or stories about Black protagonists. I'm going to mostly try to focus on the books that are by Black authors because I feel like I don't read enough of those in a year in general. Most of the books that I have are by Black authors, I believe, but I do have a few that aren't, and I will talk a little bit about those once I get to them because I do have them on my TBR for a specific reason. So before I get into the actual books that I have here, I will say that there are 2 readathons happening this month that I'm most likely going to be participating in. It's probably going to be a super chill participation because I've learned that unless I have time off of work, trying to do too much for a readathon just does not work for me. So throughout the entire month of February, the Blackathon is going to be happening. This is actually round 2. So this did happen last year and I found out about it like pretty last minute. So I ended up not formally participating in it just because I wasn't aware of it with enough time to plan ahead for it. I think I did pick up a few books, but I wasn't trying to complete any specific challenges. This year I don't have anything specific picked out for challenges yet, but I do plan on at least trying to fit stuff in specifically for that. Also, during February, the Contemporary-a-thon round 6 is also going to be happening. I just double checked the dates and the Contemporary-a-thon round 6 is going to be happening from February. I keep wanting to say September for some reason. I don't know what's going on with my brain. But the 6th round of Contemporary-a-thon will be happening from February 10th through February 16th. So that is the second full week of the month. One of the things that I always try to do, or at least that I set as a goal last year and I'm carrying over to this year, is to read my Outcrate books within a month of receiving them. I didn't do perfect last year like I wanted to, but I did read the majority of the books at least before the end of 2019. And I really want to start strong 2020 with this. So obviously I have my January book from Outcrate and I have done an unboxing for this one already, so I will leave that linked if you guys interested in checking that out. But the book that came in the box was Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim. I know this is a fantasy retelling and I talked a little bit more about that in that video, so you can go check that out. Next is another book by a non-Black author. However, this is an arc of a book that comes out February 4th, and I realized super last minute that it was coming out so soon and I hadn't read it yet, and I did want to read it and review it. So I don't think I'm going to get it read by the 4th, but I did still want to read it in the month of February, and that is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. Hopefully I have enough time to get to it because I went a little nuts this month. I told myself this year that I was going to stick to smaller TBRs and then move on to other things once I finish them. But I have a lot of possibilities, not necessarily have to read these books this month. Because Contemporary-a-thon is happening, and also most people think of February as like a romance type month, I figured I would try to possibly knock out one of my manga series, and that is the Everyone's Getting Married by Izumi Miyazano. I did read volume 1 during the first half of January. And I talked about that in my first half of the month wrap up, so you guys can definitely go check that out. But for now, I just pulled out volumes 2 and volume 3. These two will definitely be on my TBR for the month. But since there are only 9 volumes and these usually don't take me that long to read, I'm hoping that I can get to the entire series. If not, it's not a huge deal because, like I've already mentioned, I have quite a few books on my TBR for this month. But we will see. Another book that I technically have an ARC for, but it is coming out February 4th, and I don't think I will have it read before I get my physical copy in the mail, is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I just remembered that I do have an ARC of a book that's coming out in March, so I would like to also definitely get to that one, and that is A Phoenix First Must Burn, and this is a collection of short stories edited by Patrice Caldwell. Now, all of the rest of the books, which is still quite a few, even though I've already talked about quite a bit, are books that I would like to get to. It's not a huge rush. I believe I have some of these available on like audiobooks available through my library, so I might try that option out for some of these, but we will see. But the first other series that I would like to get to is a novella series. It's not super long, so I'm hoping that I can get through all 3 because I have been putting these off for way too long, and that is the Binti trilogy by Nnedi Okorafor. So I have Binti, Home, and The Night Masquerade. So like I said, these are novellas. I think the first one is under 100 pages. I think between the 3 of these it might be about 300 to 400 pages or so. So I'm hoping to read all 3 of these, and I think this would fit perfectly for one of the challenges for the Blackathon, especially because one of the challenges is named after Nnedi Okorafor. So I think that these 3 books would fit perfectly for that specific challenge. And then I also have War Girls by Tochi Anabuchi. I received this ARC from Penguin Teen last year and I didn't get the chance to get to it. And this is sci-fi, which is one of my favorite genres of all time. I think romance and then sci-fi and then fantasy. So I need to get to this because this sounds amazing. And then some YA fantasies that came out last year that I did not get to. We have A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy, The Good Look Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis, Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. To be fair, this one came out in December, so I was already trying to do a lot then. And the rest of the books that I have to show off to you guys right now, I believe are all contemporary books. Next is another short story collection, which is Black Enough. And this one was edited by Ibiza Boy. I picked this one up, I believe, last year because of Blackathon. I believe this was the group book for the readathon, but I never did get around to it. So hoping that I have time. Sticking with YA contemporaries, I also have Finding Yvonne by Brandy Colbert. Also have Pride by Ibiza Boy. And the last YA contemporary on this list is Slay by Brittany Morris. I've heard amazing things about this one, so definitely want to get to this one as well. And then finally, you guys probably think I'm crazy. This is like how my TBRs used to be, and I'm gonna hopefully not do this again this year, but I had a lot of books that I really wanted to read. But the final 2 books that I definitely have on my list of would like to read this month are both adult contemporary romances. I have Blitzed by Alexa Martin, and then finally I have Not the Girl You Marry by Andy J. Christopher. So with that one, that was all of the physical books that I have on my TBR that I would like to read. Not necessarily definitely need to read them all, but I'm not done yet. I'm also going to be doing my TBR jar challenge. I don't think I explained this before, but depending on the type of challenge I get, if I get like single books, then I'll pick 3. But I know I do have some in here where it says like read a series. So if I get one of those, I maybe only pick one other one. So the first one I picked is this green one, and it says to read a book by your favorite author. I don't know if you guys care about seeing that, but that is that challenge. I actually have a couple options for this. So I can either go with Blitz by Alexa Martin. I don't know if I had anybody specific in mind when I wrote this. I think I had several different authors, but I can either go with Alexa Martin, or I can also go with Melissa De La Cruz for this one, just because I did enjoy some of her previous works, even though I don't know if I still enjoy her. And based on those, I would have called her a favorite, or at least a childhood favorite. So I'm going to leave this one open to interpretation, but most likely I'll go with Alexa Martin for this one. I'm going to try to pick some different colors. I don't have them color coded. I just picked up random pieces of paper. So the next one I picked is a yellow one. Okay, the next one says to read a book with a black cover. I definitely have several options for that one as well. I think like a couple of the fantasy ones that I held up for you guys are black covers. I guess I can show them off to you guys again. So this is working out pretty good so far. I don't know if this counts as a black cover, like the background is black, but there is a lot of color on this one. Same with this one. The cover is mostly black, but there is a person with some color on that one as well. So that might possibly count. But this one is a mostly black cover as well. Same with this one. And I don't know if that really counts either. Like, you know, it's black, but there's also other stuff going on. So either way, I do have options for this one. So the next challenge, which is on this blue piece of paper, says to read a 2019 release, which I definitely am going to be able to do that. I believe most of the books that are on my TBR, besides obviously the ARCs that I have on here, are 2019 releases. Not all of them, but the majority of them. Alright, so because I'm extra and I wanted to get a piece of color that, or a piece of paper that was every color that I have in here, I picked a pink and an orange, which were the last two colors that I have in the jar. This pink one says to start a series, and I can definitely do that because, once again, a good number of the books that are on this TBR are starting a series. And finally, for the orange one, I have another one that says to read a 2019 release, which I could definitely do. So I'm just gonna say, normally I'm gonna pick 3 if it's like normal challenges, but this month I was kind of feeling a little extra, so I decided to pick 5 because I know for sure that all of these I can do. So I have 2 that says to read a 2019 release, read a book by a favorite author, read a book with a black cover, and to start a series. And I'm definitely going to get all of those done this month. So I'm looking forward to that. I will update you guys at the end of the month, probably with those. I think that's all I have for you guys in this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more from me, make sure you subscribe and click the little bell so you will be notified when I post new videos. Almost forgot, let me know what you guys are planning on reading throughout the month of February. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.